right. I have a few quick shows that I want to do before I have to leave for today. So if you see me on and then I'm off, that's probably why. These are going to be relatively swift. Um, Interesting clip that someone gave me. One of my subscribers, Carol Sanchez, sent me a list that I had to share with my audience because I thought the list was damning and even disturbing to some degree. Donald Trump gives a tax cut. Now, Donald Trump, when he was running for office, said that his tax cuts, or he wasn't going to do anything that was going to advantage people like him. In fact, he was going to raise the minimum wage. Everybody was going to have big, beautiful health care. Donald Trump promised many things, but one of the main things he promised was on this issue of taxes. Donald Trump gets in office and gives himself and people like him a magnificent tax break and puts the overwhelming benefits of that, 83% if I'm not mistaken, goes to the top 1%. Trillions of dollars goes on to the debt, meaning a party that has screamed and bitched and moaned and complained, and we can't afford this, we can't afford that, this debt is overwhelming, we're being crushed by debt, goes around and during a time of income inequality that is worse than at any time in our history, goes through and passes a tax cut that overwhelmingly advantages the top 1%. When you start thinking about these companies and how powerful and how rich these companies are, and then you couple the amount of money that they make with zero in taxes, zero in federal taxes, let's take a look at some of these companies. And let's also go into how these companies were able to avoid paying taxes after making billions of dollars. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the list. And shout out for this list. Thank you very much. Corporate tax avoidance remains rampant under the new law. 60 profitable Fortune 500 corporations that avoided all federal taxes in 2018. Not just avoided federal taxes, but got rebates. They got kickbacks. All right, so right here. For decades, profitable Fortune 500 companies have manipulated the tax system to avoid paying even a dime on billions of dollars in U.S. profits. When we're having this conversation about the system being rigged, the system being unfair, part of what we're also talking about is not that people can understand every little minutia of tax policy, but they do understand that something is wrong in regards to the way society seems to be organized, that there are some sectors of the society that does magnificently well and that government and media tends to cater to those sectors, while others not so much. I just had a conversation with Jordan Chariton about Flint, Michigan, and about the water. And taking the water out of it, when you look at it, it looks like a war zone. You're seeing desperate, desperate poverty, coupled with companies making billions of dollars, paying zero in taxes. It's just an amazing thing to look at. I've had people on here who are Republicans who said, look, I don't care if these guys make billions of dollars, but I think they should pay their fair share in taxes. Well, I don't think they should be making billions of dollars, but at the very least we can agree that they should be paying their fair share. Let's take a look at this. So right here, the report finds that in 2018, 60 of America's biggest corporations zeroed out their federal income tax on $79 billion in U.S. pre-tax income. Instead of paying $16.4 billion in taxes at the 21% statutory corporate rate, these companies enjoyed a net corporate rebate of $4.3 billion. Understand what we're saying? Instead of paying anything on billions of dollars in profit, the government ends up sending them a rebate of $4.3 billion. I want to pause on that because that's a stunning thing to hear. So let's take a look at it. Activision Blizzard, $447 million federal tax. I guess that's $228 million rebate. Amazon, I guess that's $10 billion. So right here, the retail Amazon reported $11 billion in U.S. income and claimed a federal tax rate of $129 million back. The streaming service Netflix paid zero federal income tax on $856 million of U.S. income. Beer maker Moslin Coors enjoyed $1.3 billion of U.S. income in 2018 and received federal income tax rate of $22.9 million back. Automaker General Motors reported a negative tax rate of $4.3 billion of income. All 60 companies' effective income tax rates are shown below. Some of these are negative. In fact, all of these are negative. But look at this. You're talking about millions of dollars back on billions of dollars of profit. I'm sorry, billions back on billions of dollars in profit. Companies' low tax stems from a variety of legal tax breaks. So essentially, this is the way that these companies are able to game the system in order to ensure that they don't have to pay any taxes, at least federal. Accelerated depreciation. Chevron, Delta, Duke, Halliburton, Dominion Resource, JetBlue, Ryder, Owens, etc. Accelerated depreciation, a tax break that allows companies to write off the cost of their capital investments much faster than these investments wear out to dramatically reduce tax rates. Chevron reported $290 million of depreciated related tax breaks in 2018, and Halliburton reduces taxes by $320 million. Let's keep going. I'll let you read it for yourself, but I just want to touch base on it. Stock options. Amazon reduced its income by more than $1 billion in 2018 by using a tax break for stock options. A June 2016 Citizen for Tax Justice report found that 315 companies in the Fortune 500 disclosed receiving tax benefits from this tax break. Benefits from this tax break, which allows companies to write off stock options related to expenses in excess of the cost they reported to shareholders and the public. Netflix reduced its income taxes by $191 million using this tax break. Salesforce reduced its reported income by $137 million of stock options. Activision, Blizzard, etc. Fossil fuels tax subsidies. Oil and gas tax breaks includes a depreciation and percentage depreciation. Jesus Christ, I read that wrong. Oil and gas tax breaks, including depreciation and percentage depletion, helped Pioneer Natural Resource zero out its federal income taxes on $1.2 billion of U.S. income in 2018. Occidental Petroleum used the Enhanced Oil Recovery Credit to reduce its taxes by $158 million this year. We should not be giving tax breaks to oil and gas. Period. They don't need it. And that is not the incentive that we want to create in our society. Let's keep going. Tax credits. U.S. Steel used percentage depletion to cut its taxes by $48 million in 2018. Dominion Energy claimed about $59 million of investment tax credits. Rockwell Collins used $60 million in research and development tax breaks. In 2018, Netflix reported $140 million in research and development credits. You get my point. Prudential Financial reduces income by $111 million using low-income housing and other credits. In 2018, Eli Lilly claimed $87 million in various business credits. Vague financial disclosures sometimes prevent full diagnosis of corporate tax avoidance strategies. And true corporate tax reform should start with the hard questions: which tax loopholes will be repealed? They asked Bernie Sanders the question on Fox News: what is the tax rate? How much do you want to increase taxes? Fact of the matter is, most human beings as people, we don't know the intricacies of this stuff. We don't know the fine details, the fine tuning, the little tax breaks that you can cut that could save you $189 million, $40 billion, or $50 million. The companies, however, do know, and the companies hire lawyers, hire lobbyists in order to get tax loopholes just like this to cut their bill down by billions of dollars. Billions of dollars that could be invested into housing, healthcare, all of these things that we need in our society. Hell, to provide clean water. What loopholes should we get rid of? Do we really need to be given oil and gas subsidies? Does Amazon really need subsidies? It's a multi-billion-dollar company. Jeff Bezos is the most richest person on the planet, or the richest person on the planet. Any real conversation about income inequality, to some degree, is going to have to deal with this question of which tax loopholes do you keep and which ones do you get rid of. So I'm going to end this here. A shout out to Sanchez for sitting with us. Thank you very much. This article is awesome. And if I'm being honest, it's a little bit disturbing when you're looking at the amount of money that they've sent off. Because, by the way, we're not talking about regular people here. We're talking about multinational corporations that have billions of dollars. When Fox News was pushing Bernie Sanders about charity and all this other stuff, we are talking about multinational corporations that make billions of dollars by selling products to the American workers. They use us for the standpoint of our labor. But then when you get to this thing of federal taxes and then paying their fair share, they use our roads, they use our airwaves, they use our muscles, our energies. They use the fact that we have a society itself that would allow them to do business and make billions of dollars of profit. Should they not pay their fair share if they're going to be able to use our society to make their profits? The answer to me is yes. And I would hope that answer to you would also be yes. Any real conversation about income inequality is also going to have to deal with this thing of tax loopholes. And even, I would argue, about whether or not we should allow politicians working for particular industries or getting investments from particular industries to make policies that are just overtly beneficial to those industries. Meaning, if you're getting donations from oil and gas, should you really be making policy on oil and gas? And if you're getting millions on oil and gas, do you not have a natural incentive to do things that are beneficial to oil and gas, even at the expense of the American public itself? We need to have a serious conversation on campaign finance, but also on tax policy itself. The document is at the bottom. It's a disturbing thing to read. We've given these guys back hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're multi-billion-dollar corporations. So I'll let you see it for yourself. If you guys enjoyed the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support through PayPal or Patreon. This one wasn't meant to be long. It's just kind of a heads up. Thanks all. And